8 exercises you will regret ignoring in 10 years. Before we get started, please leave a comment below with your name and the city you are watching from. We would love to know. Exercise number 1, mountain climbers. If there is one movement capable of getting your heart rate up, activating practically the entire body, and strengthening the core all at the same time, this is it. Regular practitioners can significantly improve cardiovascular endurance and abdominal stability within just a few weeks of consistent practice. I have noticed that those who include this movement in their routine report greater energy throughout the day, something that is often underestimated when we focus only on aesthetics. This exercise intensely works the rectus abdominis, the obliques, the hip flexors, the shoulders, and also demands muscular recruitment from the spinal stabilizers throughout the entire movement. To perform it correctly, start in a high plank position, with your hands on the floor aligned with your shoulders and your body forming a straight line from your head to your heels. From there, bring one knee toward your chest and return to the starting position, quickly alternating legs as if you were running in place in a horizontal position. An extra tip to maximize results is to keep your hips stable without letting them rise or sway from side to side. This ensures that the core keeps working throughout the entire movement, rather than just the legs. A common mistake is letting the hips rise too high, which removes a large portion of the tension from the abdomen and turns the exercise into a simple leg movement. Another mistake I see many people make is speeding up the pace too much before mastering the technique, which compromises the body's alignment. For beginners, it is recommended to start with 2 to 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds, gradually increasing to 45 seconds as conditioning improves. For more advanced practitioners, sets of 60 seconds are usually enough for a good stimulus. Contraindications: people with recent injuries to the wrist or shoulder, or those who experience significant lower back pain during a plank, should avoid this movement or seek professional guidance before practicing it. As a gentler alternative, it is possible to reduce the speed of execution and turn the movement into something more controlled, focusing on the connection between the abdomen and the hips before picking up the pace again. Exercise number 2, Superman. A common mistake is paying excessive attention to the abdomen while completely neglecting the back muscles, and it is exactly this imbalance that this exercise helps to correct. It strengthens the erector spinae, a muscle group essential for maintaining an upright posture and protecting the spine during practically any everyday activity. This exercise intensely works the erector spinae, the gluteus maximus, and the hamstrings, functioning as a perfect counterbalance for those who spend the day sitting and develop weakness in the posterior chain. To perform it, lie face down with your arms extended in front of your body and your legs straight. From this position, simultaneously lift your arms, chest, and legs off the ground, contracting the lower back and glutes at the top of the movement, then return in a controlled manner to the starting position. The beauty of this exercise lies in its ability to strengthen the entire posterior chain without needing any equipment, as it can be done anywhere with just a mat. A mistake I see many people make is driving the movement with excessive force, creating a jerk instead of a controlled contraction. This reduces actual muscle recruitment and increases the risk of lower back discomfort. Remember that the movement should be slow and deliberate, holding the top of the contraction for 1 to 2 seconds before coming back down. It is recommended to start with 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, always prioritizing movement quality over speed. Contraindications: people with an active herniated disc or acute lower back pain should avoid this exercise without first consulting a healthcare professional, as hyperextension can aggravate certain conditions. An interesting variation for those who have already mastered the full version is to lift only the arms at one moment and only the legs at another, alternating between them, which reduces the intensity slightly and serves as a reverse progression for days when energy levels are lower. Another recommendation is to sync your breathing with the movement, inhaling on the way down and exhaling as you lift your body, which helps maintain a more consistent contraction throughout the repetitions. Exercise number 3, Dead Bug. What many people do not know is that this is one of the most recommended exercises by physical therapists for rehabilitation and safe core strengthening, precisely because it does not place axial load on the spine. A study published in physical rehabilitation journals found that stabilization exercises like this one help significantly reduce episodes of lower back pain in practitioners who include them in their routine consistently. This exercise intensely works the transverse, abdominis and the obliques, demanding significant recruitment of the deep spinal stabilizers while also improving body proprioception. To perform it, lie on your back with your arms extended upward toward the ceiling and your knees bent at 90 degrees, forming a right angle between your thighs and your torso. From this position, slowly extend your right arm back behind your head while straightening your left leg toward the floor without letting your lower back lose contact with the ground. Return to the starting position and repeat, alternating sides. An extra tip is to maintain steady breathing throughout the movement, exhaling at the moment of greatest effort, which helps keep the core activated more efficiently. A common mistake is letting the lower back arch and lift away from the floor as the leg and arm extend. When this happens, the exercise loses much of its stabilization purpose and can cause discomfort in the lower back region. The ideal approach is to practice 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions per side, always prioritizing control over speed. Contraindications. People with acute lower back pain in an inflammatory phase should seek professional guidance before starting, although this exercise is generally considered safe precisely because it protects the spine. For those who find it difficult to keep their lower back pressed to the floor, an alternative is to reduce the range of motion, extending the arm and leg only partially until the core muscles can sustain the correct position, gradually increasing the range as control improves. Exercise number 4, farmer's carry. If you have ever seen someone carrying heavy shopping bags in each hand and felt how much it challenges the entire body, you have already had a direct experience with the essence of this exercise. Regular practitioners report significant improvement in grip strength, something directly linked to longevity and functional independence as the years go by. This exercise intensely works the forearms, the trapezius, the core stabilizers, the legs, and the shoulders, functioning almost like a full-body exercise in a single movement. To perform it, hold a relatively heavy weight in each hand, such as dumbbells or kettlebells, keeping your shoulders back and your core braced. Walk a set distance of roughly 50 to 65 feet, maintaining an upright posture and controlled steps, without letting your torso tilt to either side. An extra tip is to squeeze the weights tightly in your hands throughout the entire walk, which further increases forearm recruitment and grip strength over time. A common mistake is choosing a weight that is too light, which drastically reduces the effectiveness of the exercise. Another mistake I see many people make is letting their shoulders roll forward, compromising posture throughout the entire walk. It is recommended to perform 3 to 4 sets, covering distances of 50 to 65 feet, progressively increasing the load as strength improves. Contraindications. People with serious joint problems in the wrists, elbows, or shoulders should adapt the load or avoid the exercise, as should people with uncontrolled high blood pressure, since isometric gripping exercises can momentarily raise blood pressure. An accessible alternative for those who do not have dumbbells or kettlebells at home is to use water jugs or reinforced bags with an equivalent weight, maintaining the same principles of posture and distance covered. Exercise number 5, dead hang. Keep in mind that healthy shoulders are not a given. They need to be actively worked on, and this is one of the simplest and most effective movements for doing exactly that. A study related to shoulder joint health suggested that the decompression generated by this type of hang can help relieve excessive compression caused by everyday postures. This exercise intensely works the forearms, the latissimus dorsi, the shoulder stabilizers, and also promotes mobility in the glenohumeral joint, something that is rarely trained in isolation. To perform it, grip a fixed bar with your hands at shoulder width, letting your body hang freely with your arms fully extended and your feet off the ground. Keep your shoulders slightly engaged, avoiding letting them rise completely toward your ears, and hold this position for the designated amount of time. An extra tip is to breathe in a controlled manner throughout the hang, which helps release unnecessary tension in the neck and allows you to sustain the position for longer. A common mistake is letting the body swing excessively, which reduces stability and increases the risk of shoulder injuries. Another mistake is holding your breath, which creates unnecessary tension and premature fatigue. The ideal approach is to start with sets of 20 to 30 seconds, gradually progressing until you can sustain 45 seconds or more, always respecting your body's limits. Contraindications: people with active shoulder injuries, such as recent dislocations or rotator cuff injuries, should avoid this exercise until cleared by a medical professional. For those who cannot yet support their own body weight for very long, an alternative is to keep your feet lightly touching the floor, bearing only part of your weight on the bar, which already helps build grip strength progressively. Over time, the goal is to gradually remove the foot support until you can perform the full hang comfortably and safely. Exercise number 6, decline push-ups. When it comes to upper chest exercises, it is important to understand that this is the most difficult region to develop, mainly due to the muscle insertion and the working angle required to recruit it efficiently. Decline push-ups solve exactly that problem, serving as an accessible alternative when there is no access to gym equipment. This exercise intensely works the upper chest, the anterior deltoids, and the triceps, while also demanding significant core recruitment to keep the body aligned. To perform it, place your feet elevated on a stable surface, such as a bench or a step, with your hands on the floor slightly wider than shoulder width. Keep your body in a straight line from your head to your heels and bend your elbows until your chest nearly touches the floor. Then return to the starting position in a controlled manner. The beauty of this exercise lies in its ability to intensify upper chest work simply by adjusting the height of your feet without needing any additional equipment. A common mistake is letting the hips drop or rise too much during the movement, which removes tension from the chest and unnecessarily overloads the lower back. It is also important to emphasize scapular retraction during the exercise, as it protects the shoulders and improves correct muscle activation. It is recommended to perform 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, increasing the foot elevation as strength improves. Contraindications. People with shoulder injuries, wrist tendinitis, or persistent elbow pain should avoid or adapt this exercise, reducing the incline or opting for traditional push-ups instead. For those who do not yet have enough strength to perform the decline version, the recommendation is to first master the traditional push-up with good technique before elevating the feet, since the incline considerably increases the load placed on the upper body. Exercise number 7, Bulgarian split squat. You will know you are doing it right when you feel an intense burn in the front of the thigh of the leg that is forward, as this is one of the most efficient unilateral exercises for developing strength and balance at the same time. Regular practitioners tend to notice significant improvement in individual leg stability, which helps correct strength imbalances between both sides of the body. This exercise intensely works the quadriceps, the gluteus maximus, and demands strong recruitment of the hip and ankle stabilizers due to the unilateral nature of the movement. To perform it, stand with your back to a bench, resting the top of one foot on it while the other leg is in front, with your foot planted on the floor. From this position, bend the knee of the front leg, lowering your body until the thigh is nearly parallel to the floor, then return to the starting position by pushing the floor with your heel. An extra tip is to keep your torso slightly leaning forward, which helps direct more tension toward the gluteus maximus, considered the largest muscle in the human body, a fact that 99% of people are unaware of. A common mistake is letting the front knee travel excessively past the line of the toes, which can cause joint discomfort over time. Another mistake I see many people make is positioning the supporting foot too close to the body, which reduces the range of motion. It is recommended to perform 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions per leg, progressing the load as technique becomes more solid. Contraindications. People with knee injuries, significant balance problems, or persistent hip pain should adapt the exercise or avoid it until they receive professional guidance. If balance is a challenge at first, lightly resting your hands on a wall or a chair beside you can help a great deal while the body adapts to the unilateral movement. Exercise number 8. Glute bridge. Many men neglect targeted glute training, and this hurts not only aesthetics but also strength and performance in other everyday movements. This exercise is one of the simplest and safest starting points to reverse that situation, and it can be done literally next to your bed, without any equipment. This exercise intensely works the gluteus maximus, the hamstrings, and demands recruitment of the core stabilizers to keep the pelvis aligned throughout the entire movement. To perform it, lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor close to your hips. From this position, lift your hips toward the ceiling, strongly contracting the glutes at the top of the movement. Then return in a controlled manner to the starting position without letting your hips fully touch the floor between repetitions. An extra tip to maximize results is to pause for 1 to 2 seconds at the top of the movement, sustaining the maximum glute contraction before lowering again. A common mistake is relying too heavily on the lower back to complete the movement, rather than focusing the contraction on the glutes. This happens mainly when the range of motion is exaggerated, or when the person tries to rise too quickly. Remember that the glutes also play a fundamental role in stabilizing the pelvis and preventing lower back pain, so performing this exercise correctly brings benefits that go far beyond aesthetics. The ideal approach is to perform 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions, and you can progress by increasing the pause time at the top of the movement or the number of repetitions as strength improves. Contraindications. People with acute lower back pain or recent hip injuries should reduce the range of motion or seek professional guidance before practicing it. A simple progression for those who have already mastered the basic version is to reduce rest time between sets, going from 60 to 45 seconds while maintaining the same number of repetitions and the same quality of contraction at the top of the movement. Now that you know all 8 main exercises, we still have a special bonus for you. Bonus exercise, resting squat. When you include the resting squat in your daily routine, even if only for a few minutes, you are working on something that most people in the Western world have completely lost over the course of their lives: the ability to rest deeply in the deep squat position. Unlike the traditional squat used for muscle growth, this is a resting posture widely used in many Asian cultures, where people sit this way to eat, have conversations, or simply wait instead of using chairs. This exercise works the mobility of the ankles, hips, and knees, while also gently stretching the lower back and improving body proprioception in the squatted position. To perform it, stand with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart, with your toes turned slightly outward. Bend your knees and lower your hips until they are close to your heels, keeping your heels fully planted on the floor and your back relatively upright. Your arms can rest between your knees or hang relaxed in front of your body, and the goal is to remain comfortably in this position for as long as you can. The beauty of this exercise lies in its simplicity, as it can be practiced while watching television, during a break at work, or while chatting with someone at home, without requiring any equipment or specific space. For those just starting out, it is normal to feel the heels rising or to lose balance in the first few days, and this simply indicates a lack of mobility accumulated over the years, not an inability to perform the movement. Practicing from 30 seconds to 1 minute per day, gradually progressing to 2 or 3 minutes, already brings noticeable improvements in hip and ankle mobility. Contraindications: people with serious knee injuries, a knee replacement, or intense joint pain during deep flexion should avoid or significantly adapt the range of this position, seeking professional guidance if necessary. If you enjoyed this and want to see the best stretches used by the Japanese to undo years of poor posture and neglect of the body, we have a video appearing on screen right now, showing each one of them in detail. It is important knowledge for anyone who has already passed the age of 50, so make sure you check it out. Thank you for watching all the way through, and may God bless you, my friend.